Hello, hey, I see you already in the house. Oh, we're gonna show up. Hey, let me know if you can hear me. We early and hey, they don't if they don't know, they don't now. We operate on military time over here. All right, let me go ahead and let some Vestals come in here. Hey, Vestals, if y'all are in here, please drop something in the chat and then we're gonna begin. I'm not gonna keep you long. I'm not gonna keep you long because the information I'm gonna drop tomorrow it's gonna be deep. Evelyn. Hey, immediately. Okay, you can hear me. Okay. Oh, Justine. Oh, we about to roll tonight. We're about to roll tonight. Hey, let me know if the music's too loud. And if the music is good, I'm gonna start. Start this kickback tonight because I got some information to tell you. Let me know if the music is okay. Sounds good. All right. Let me go ahead with my short lineup for tonight. Hey, to be honest with y'all, and I know I start all my lives off with these glasses and eventually they're going to get pulled off. But let me pull them off right now because I want you to see my eyes when I say this, okay? Based off the information that I've been getting in these report cards and the research that I've been doing regarding these report card grades and the details that have been released, there is no way that I would be supporting the NFL, any team, if Shedeur Sanders was not in the NFL. If you've been watching my other lives, I have been away from the NFL. I haven't supported the NFL since the Colin Kaepernick issue, okay? But I'm finna go over some details because I was doing my homework on what I found regarding some of these locker room issues. And it's not nice. So, but before I do that, I want to bring this up. Tomorrow, I'm going to let you know if that Seahawk player was fined or not in the Super Bowl. Remember, I brought that up in the other live. I stated that he threw a punch in the fourth quarter against Stephon Diggs. I need to see if he was fined or not. I'm going to give you that update tomorrow, okay? But today, I was digging through the NFL's trash cans, all right? Just want to let you know that. And also, I want to bring this up. If there's one player on the Cleveland Browns that have been getting their money, hey, how you doing? If there's one player on the Cleveland Browns that's been eating them up for every contract ever they had to sign, it's Myles Garrett. Of course, his rookie contract was small. But do you know his second contract he signed? Because the one he just signed last year was his third contract. I think that's what it is. Had to be. His second contract was for 4 years, $125 million. And then he just renewed last year for 4 years and 160 million dollars. So every time you see Myles Garrett, just know Myles Garrett already broke the Cleveland Browns for almost what's that together? About a good $400 million, almost $500 million. If you don't believe me, go Google it. Myles Garrett been eating the Cleveland Browns up, and I love it. Yes. Second contract, 4 years, 125. Third contract, 4 years, 160. I have much respect for Myles Garrett. See, this is why Michael Parsons was trying to hold out. This is why all of these players try to hold out because they know what they're worth. And guess what, y'all? I may play this clip tonight or I may save it for tomorrow. But I found that clip from deebo&joe regarding the back pay. So we shall see how this conversation goes. But I want to go ahead and give you these details because I'm gonna do this live tonight, drop some details. So the live tomorrow is much shorter. It's Sunday. I respect your time, respect your families, but I'm gonna go ahead and say what I want to say tonight. And tomorrow we're gonna get into that good talk. That's what we needed. All right. So remember that, and Faith is not in here. Hey, how you doing, 420 Jeekins? So Faith is not in here. But I know with some other Vestas in the chat when I started bringing up this NFLPA report card. And remember the NFL last week, they won that grievance. And I kept saying, no, it's something else we're missing. It's something else we're missing. I know it's something else we're missing. I found some details. And it's very disturbing, okay? Let me go ahead and read out these facts right here. So we know that some of the locker rooms got F, right? So the only one on this list that I'm about to give you that improved was the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I'm still going to tell you what they dirt was a couple years ago. So the Redskin Commanders, I'm going to start with them. So this is what, hey greetings. So this is what I found out about the Washington Redskins, Washington Commanders. My bad. Do you know their locker room, and I think it's still today, their locker room has sewage issues. We're going for the gusto tonight. I'm just putting it out there. The Washington Commanders locker room is an L because they have sewage issues. That means that the players are practicing and preparing for games with sewage issues. Biohazard. So let me keep going. The Cincinnati Bengals. You know what their issues are? Still to this day, 50% of the showers do not work. Hold on. No hot water or no pressure. 50% of their showers don't work. And the ones that do work, no hot water, no pressure. This is what the owners didn't want to get out. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, then they have the players have complained constant issues. And believe it or not, some of the toilets are not usable, unserviceable. Now, I did some more homework. The Cincinnati Bengals owner, he is worth $5 million. And he cannot give his players decent plumbing, decent showers. All this stuff, this is what they didn't want us to find out. Hold on, let me move forward. Now I said the Jaguars have improved. They need to clean. Yes. Okay. I'm surprised some of these teams have not had type of skin outbreaks, all the biohazard type of skin diseases and stuff. And I guess what I found out, that team that has that sticky floor, we're going to bring them up too. So going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, guess what their issues was throughout the years? Now, they have cleaned it up based off this report card here. But guess what their issues were a couple years ago and maybe last year? You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. So let me go and tell you what it is. They also had some sanitation issues, right? But they also had a rat infestation. Rat infestation in the Jacksonville Jaguars stadium. They say when they would go to the locker room, rats. They say when they would go to the laundry room, rats. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Do you want to know how much that owner is worth? He's worth, believe this, $15.3 billion. Washington Commanders owner is worth six to 12 billion. Sewer issues. The Cincinnati Bengals owner, he's worth $5 billion, but he's past plumbing issues, okay? The Jacksonville Jaguars, the owner is worth $15.3 billion. He had rat infestations. Now, report card this year has improved, so we shall see. Okay? Now, hold on. Let's go to the Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, yes, the one that won those Super Bowls back to back. Here are the issues that they had with the locker room. Of course, they had broken promises. Do you know what they was happy with last year or this year? Getting chairs with the back. Hold on, I'm gonna get into the sanitation issues, but the players was happy that this year, last year, they got chairs with the back in the locker room. You know, I'm like, hold on, what's going on? What's going on with the NFL? What? You mean to tell me that players are excited and happy that they're getting chairs with backs on it? I thought this was standard. Hey, I told you, I'm telling you, if Shedeur Sanders was not in the league, I would not be supporting any team. But now with Shedeur Sanders in the league, and we've had to follow his career path, especially his rookie year. And now that it's off season, we got time. As I said in week 18, I said, hey, now that the regular season is over, in the postseason, I'm going to be digging through these people's trash. And I told you, I'm holding my promise. I'm digging through these people's trash. Now, let me go ahead. So Tony Talks vested up. Okay, you don't talked about the Washington Commanders. You don't talked about the Cincinnati Bengals. You don't talked about the Jaguars. Hey, but guess what? We're following the Cleveland Browns, right? We already talked about that. But let me go ahead and put some other stuff out. Now, regarding the Browns, as of now, hold on. Let me hold it. See the chat. Thanks. Let's ride, sis. Let's ride. And they have the nerve. Come on with it. They had the nerve to be hating on Coach Prime when he was in Jackson State. Tell us what's really going on. Let me tell you one thing. I'm glad you bring that up. Let me segue a little bit. So these NFL players, they sit on these high horses, right? Because you always hear about this player needs to have discipline. This player needs leadership. This player needs watch his character, protect your identity, protect your stats, protect your resumes. Well, who's holding these owners to task? Who's holding them accountable? You know who? God, let me finish this right here. So let's go back to the Browns. So the Browns, their locker course, in terms of locker room, they failed too. But I haven't found any issues that I've talked about before, all right? Their locker room issues was locker room space, the age of the building, right? The hot tub facility, no adequate spacing, okay? And the staff is under, there's a staff shortage, my bad. So now I'm starting to look at their report card because I think regarding training staff across the board, strengthening staff, training staff, I thought they had a B. But I'm going to go back and look at that before tomorrow's live. Now, regarding the Cleveland Browns, remember I brought up last time that the only thing that I found out regarding the details that they were like disastrous on was having the players' families be out in tents at the parking lot. We talked about that. But I have not heard of any bad plumbing, inadequate showers, infestations. Now, let me go back to the Washington Redskins. I'm sorry, the Commanders. My bad. Do you know what infestation they had a few years ago? Because it was another team that had shower bug infestations. Shower bug infestations. And this may be the Washington Commanders. So what I'm about to report is, in 1 year, maybe could have been several years, the Washington Commander, right? They had an infestation of bed bugs. These billionaires around here, they have these players, these $1 million players. They have us coming out to support them, buying merchandise, buying tickets. But when you're sitting at the home game, there is a disaster underneath your seats regarding that locker room. Yes, regarding that. Okay, be humble. That's what I'm saying. When the fans are sitting in the Washington Commanders Stadium, the Cincinnati Bengals Stadium, and the Jacksonville Stadium, and the Kansas City Chiefs, it's a disaster underneath there. Some of these teams have biohazards underneath those seats. So what are we to support? This is what they did. This is why they hated the report cards to come out. And guess what? I found another article. The reason why they had an issue with the NFLPA publicizing these report cards, believe it or not, they said because they were embarrassed because of the grades. They should be embarrassed. So hold on. A question just popped up in my head. So if we only been getting report cards for the last 2023, 2024, 2025. What have we missed all the other years? Maybe they didn't have any report cards. But if we see what it was in these 3-year spans, we already know what it was those years ago, okay? We already know what those years were ago, what the locker room could have looked like. Remember, I brought up in my other live is that TDP, yeah, I know. Regarding the other live, remember I said, see, y'all just made me lose my thought, but it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. But this is why the NFL wanted to hide those report cards. I knew it was something beside the letter grades, but it's the devil in the details. They didn't want us to know, okay? Now, remember I brought up in another live, I said, when I started looking at the report cards for the first time, I said, well, hold on. I said, shouldn't they have some type of federal sanitation requirement? Guess what? They do and they don't. It's not federal. Do you know who sets these standards regarding the locker room? It is the NFL Players Association. The same ones that release these grades. So I'm like, okay, hey, they're playing both sides of the coin, believe it or not, because they released report cards, right? But it's also the NFL's Players Association that comes together with the NFL, and they're the players' mediation, like liaisons, right? So they're letting all this stuff go. So are you for the players? Are you not for the players? Because remember, I brought in another live. I said the reason why I had an issue with the NFLPA, because when they saw what was going on with Shedeur Sanders, they said nothing. They said nothing. They said nothing. But now you release the report cards. We thank you for the players. But then when I do more digging, come to find out, they're the one that actually exists. Guess what? I got the article investors, so they must have been paying the Board of Health off. Well, let's see what the collective bargaining agreement says. Hey, I got the article right here. If you got your pen and your paper, or if you want to write or make a note of this, here it is. It's article of the NFL's collective bargaining agreement. It is Article 29, Section 10, and this is the minimum that agreement have for the players and the NFL. This is the minimum. For the visiting locker rooms, the team only needs 6 urinals, 4 toilets, and 20 showers. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. I left 2 of the important facts out. The only thing else that the NFL Players Association agreed to have for the players, minimal facilities, is 600 towels and 500 pounds of ice. That's it. That's it. That's all in the collective bargaining agreement. Now, before tomorrow, I'm going to go dig in some more. I'm going to go to the actual document, and I'm going to look this up myself. Jags problem came. Remember these type of business? Yeah. They got all this money. I've told you how much they make, but they can't keep they building up the code. You know why? I don't think they paid no one off in the health department, right? And maybe they did. Allegedly. I gotta say allegedly. But what I think, it gotta go higher than that. Could be OSHA. Could be somebody in OSHA that has given them ass. Because remember, the NFL is its own business, right? It's an entertainment business. So based off the research I saw today, the only agency, if you want to call the NFLPA agency, that talks about the sanitation, is the NFLPA. I didn't see nothing about Department of Health. I ain't see nothing about the CDC. I didn't see anything else regarding any federal regulations. So who's to say they probably got in somebody's pocket? Now, going back to the Washington Commanders, I do know, as you don't know, I travel sometimes, right? I travel for work sometimes. I will say this. Washington, D.C., a few years ago, the hotels had an issue with bed bugs. Google it. It was crossing Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Maryland. So but they still got an F this year, so they still have some problems. Okay, they still have some problems in Washington D.C. I'm not gonna say that because I've traveled to D.C. and Virginia in the last couple of years a lot. I haven't had an issue, but the Washington Commanders, they still got an F. So who's not to say what issue they're facing? A man isn't afraid to stand up and face any male eye to eye. Well, it seemed like to me, Velster, these players, maybe their hands is tied. I went back to the NFLPA and I looked at everybody that was considered leadership for each one of those teams. And guess what? You know, I called out Joe Battinio. I think that was in November when I saw him as an alternate, a co-chair alternate. But then when I saw the actual chairperson, it was Shelley Harris. It wasn't until around week 16 or 17 when I saw him on the field, I said, well, dang, hey, that's another player. So maybe it's players across the board. Matter of fact, it is players across the board. There's only 4 positions. It was Shelley Harris. It was Joe Patino. It was a Zach Zinter. And the third chair, I forgot who that was. So, yeah, these players. So, really, the players is, how can I say it? These 4 players that are on these, for each team, I guess they go to the Players Association and they voice their concerns. But if I'm getting paid by the owner, I mean, really, how much can I say? I'm afraid you may not renew my contract. Hey, I'm afraid that the head coach like Kevin Stefanski, may mess up my stats and mess up my next contract. So who's to say? But yeah, Article 29, Section 10 of the NFL Collective Bargaining Agreement, they agreed to this. But they're the same ones that put out the report card. So, yeah, they playing both sides. But they agreed to this in the bargaining agreement. So tomorrow I need to see, is this an annual thing? Or is this does it have it happen every 2 to 3 years? Or if it's an annual thing? But I'll be coming back tomorrow with that Buster. Let's see here. CBA. Now, y'all know I love Deebo and Joe. Deebo and Joe in another one of the episodes I was just listening to. Do you know they also brought up they had a lot of issues with the CBA? I said CBC, CBA. So remember, we finding out that a lot of college players, they're staying in school because they're making more money in the NFL versus the NIL deals. Well, Joe and Deebo, and it's logic. It's basic. It's common sense, basically. If college is playing players to more in college versus what the NFL is paying professional athletes, don't you think they would still stay in school also? What are you saying, Tony Talks Vested Up? Well, remember, it was a quarterback that stayed in college. He's not going to the combine. I forgot what his name was, but for 1 year, he's making $5 million. And as we know that Shedeur Sanders in 4 years, he's only getting $4.6 million. You know who Deebo and Joe said who the problem was? The NFL collective bargaining agreement, the same agreement that the NFLPA agrees to. They said they have the rights to go to the NFL, said, no, you got to offer these players more money. And I think because even though they invited 319 players to the combine this year, right? It could have been a lot more. And I'm pretty sure if the collegiate world is going to continue to offer these players money like this, and they're making more in college than the NFL is not going to get any new players. And based off these locker rooms and issues they having, they shouldn't even get no new players. What I just discussed in the first 24 minutes of this live was disgusting. Schools even have better sanitation standards than this. Some of the NFL, yes. Oh, let's talk about the leadership. So I looked at the leadership, right? I actually went to the website and I did look at the leadership. So how I'm going to put this. So guess what, investors and viewers? We do have representation, if you know what I mean. We have representation. We have representation. We are present. Matter of fact, believe it or not, investors and viewers, I'm going to say we're like 75% on the board in terms of leaderships. I'm not talking about in terms of the players that that go out and advocate for the team. I'm talking about for the key leadership positions. It's us. Y'all know that bothered me, right? Well, he's sitting on the board for the Cleveland Browns in terms of the team members that go out and represent each team. I'm talking about the leadership, like the president, co-president, treasurer, those type of positions is us. And we're allowing this to happen when the NFL is what, 80 to 85% black males? But it's us sitting at the head of the NFLPA. That's why Debo Harrison, he stated when the next time it goes around for new candidates, he said that he is going to put his name in the hat for the president position. And I think he'll do well. Joe sits on the board. Yeah, Joe sit on the board. Well, you know, he's gone now. I think he retired. Joe Bettino, he retired this year. And also Teller, I think Teller has not renewed his contract with the Cleveland Browns, or maybe the Cleveland Browns haven't renewed their contract with Teller, but Teller is gone. Shedeur Sanders did put something out there on Twitter, said that he was going to miss you, bro. He said, I'm going to miss you, bro. So Teller is gone. So Andrew Berry, Todd Monken, George Warhawk will have an entire new line. So yeah, that's what I got, Vestas. Oh, let's go back to the sticky floors. Oh, to the teams that had the sticky floors, that was the Chiefs. The Chiefs is the one that was walking around in these sticky floors with the sticky floors that I reported on a few lives ago. Sticky floors. And guess what? For the New England Patriots, guess what type of plane? Remember they got an F on their travel? I had to do some digging. Guess what the issues found with their traveling? They're in subpar hotels, and the plane that they're riding on. So this is going to tell all of our age. If you know exactly what I'm talking about. The New England Patriots airplane that they currently ride on now, to and fro games and stuff, it has ashtrays. Do you know when those planes, they got ashtrays? The New England Patriots owner is worth $11.1 billion to $13.8 billion. That's his worth. He has his players riding around in a plane that was made in banned in 1991. Anyway, American had it for 25 years, and he purchased the plane for the Patriots. And they're riding around in planes that has ashtrays and I'm let it go. Look, these billionaires, they have these high standards for these players. They find them. So why the players can't find the owners in terms of health inspections, sewer controls, sewer issues, plumbing issues, infestations? Why? If it wasn't for Shedeur, I wouldn't be supporting the NFL. Even if it wasn't no Shedeur, and I knew that Deion Sanders was going to the Colorado, I probably would still be in that niche, just reporting on college teams. But you know what? Everybody has the internet, and I'm pretty sure these players themselves are looking at these report cards. The parents of the players are probably looking at these report cards. And who's to say, hey, why I want to go to the NFL when they got sewer problems, infestations, sticky floors, toilets that's not working, showers that's halfway. Why? Even though they're making millions of dollars, this is for this should be a humanitarian right, and I hope I said that right. This should be a right, not a privilege. Not a privilege to have working toilets, working showers, rats in the locker rooms, bed bugs, shower bugs. Hell, I need to look to see what is a shower bug. I need to look. Hold on. What is a shower bug? What is a shower bug? Is that a? That was a shower bug. Let me Google that real quick. A shower bug. Woo. Okay, the shower bug, cockroaches. That is. Yeah, that is. Teams have been dealing with cockroaches in the shower. Water bugs, basically water bugs. All right, water bugs, big old water bugs. Drain flies, silver fishes, and cockroaches. Which thrive in damp, humid environments and feed off of soap scum, hair, and mold. Oh, and also some teams did report mold. Not ashtrays. Yes, ashtrays. Gangsta has those titles. 4 branches of service. Have 2 daughters that retired. Yes, let me tell you one thing. Y'all know I'm a veteran. Let me tell you one thing. I was a veteran. Basic training, AIT, permanent party. Now in basic training, even if you don't have any home training, you go learn how to do some cleaning in the military. It's called a GI party, and they still have them. Soldiers in AIT and basic training, you're still responsible for your own showers, toilets, that type of things, right? Because everybody don't come from how can I say it, a clean background, right? So the military, they implant that, they enforce that standard in your head. In AIT, it's the same thing. You're responsible for your personal areas. Now in permanent party, of course, being in the military is just like work. You go to work, you do PE, you go to work, you go home, right? Soldiers, if the soldiers are living in the barracks, they're responsible for that, their own living quarters, right? There's no inspection. However, in basic training at AIT in the military, there are inspections. You have health inspections coming through there. You have OSHA coming through there. You also have the military inspection general, IG, come through there, right? And anytime a soldier make any complaint to leadership, if they feel like leadership is not taking care of it, they can go straight to the IG. They can do anonymous sources. They can do just send emails. Hey, next, guess what? It's gonna be taken care of. That's one thing about the military. They don't play about plumbing and sewer and cockroaches in the showers, and they don't play about bed bugs and stuff like that. But for these men, millionaires or not, the owners is responsible for this building. The owner is responsible for the health and welfare of their players. So if they can find players for coming to work drunk or smoking weed or whatever the case may be, I think these players should have the right to find these owners for the workspace. And a lot of families complain about, during the regular season, the players are away from family a lot. I understand that. But that means that these players are in these environments working like this? Yeah. So that's it, Bester. I wanted to go ahead and get this information out tonight, so tomorrow, I can go straight for the gusto. But hey, that's what they was trying to hide, Besters. Dirty locker rooms. What's up? Hey, let me tell you. I'm shocked, Besters. I really don't know what to say. I really didn't expect this, but now we know what the details are. Yeah. So, hey, no more report cards really coming out. So the only thing that we're going to rely on in the future is anonymous sources, dropping tidbits. But if we don't get that, I'm just going to assume that they're still living in working in those type of environments. Great live, thank you. And let me tell y'all one thing. If y'all got any sons that have aspirations for the NFL, and thank you, Miss Mita Lee, for that. Let them know, besides the taxes, Let them know the type of working environments they may have to deal with, the infestations. Just let them know the real truth. The NFL is not all bells and whistles like we thought it was, okay, as we see. Just let them know the NFL is not what we think it is. So, there it is. Just thank you so much for the night. And make sure y'all come back tomorrow at 2:21. That's when I'm going to drop the gusto. Like I said, I'm glad I did separate the live. So tomorrow live is not going to be that long. Tonight's live is not that long, but it's very informative. But tomorrow I'm going to have another informative live. And it's going to be one of them serious talks. It's going to be one of them serious talks to make you alert and vigilant. And we're going to talk about that, Vestas. We going to talk about that. Thank you. 222, 222. And thank you. If you haven't had an opportunity, hit the like, just like the video, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. Okay, Vestas? Amen. Take care, Vestas. Enjoy your night.